on this computer. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about kind of like, this is the most exciting aspect of us having 5 coaches coming together, because we really can bring you guys a variety of content. So it's really easy for us to, normally we use previously curated content and we like tweak it. That's what we do in our ongoing accountability group. But what we're doing here is we are creating everything from scratch. I'm talking about not using stock photos. I actually have on day 1 in the group, I want everybody to share their favorite mountain photos, as many as you can. We have 8 weeks that we need to be scheduling content for, and I would love to be able to feature your guys' beautiful photos of the riding areas that you guys get to experience, and pictures of your riding group and your wins and your stacks and just all of it. Like, those are the pieces that we want to be able to speak to, right? We want it to be relatable for you guys. And I think the beautiful part of having 5 women bringing this together is we all have very different experiences. So while we're all going to be touching on the same 5 kind of topics each week, we're all going to have a very unique perspective. So I really think that this is going to be easy to, like, I don't make promises, but I can promise that this is going to be next level every single week. So one of the first things that this is, I feel, the most important thing that actually brings everybody in, aside from us wanting to be able to throw our sleds around, the most common thing I hear from women is not having other women to ride with. You're the only woman in the group. You're always out riding with men that have far more experience than you do. They have size on their side, and it can be really discouraging to go out with them and they're saying, well, just do it. Just do it. And they have no actual advice for you, because for them, they might be able to just do it, right? And it might be second in, like, a natural instinct for them. But it's really powerful to come into a space where you're connecting with other women that also have struggled, and other women that have had wins. Like, some women may struggle with holding a side hill, but they may be awesome at going balls to the wall hill climbing, right? So everybody in the group has very different perspectives to share with everybody. And it is the most positive space I've ever leaned into. I think it was Carly that when I was asking, like, what's the most important thing with this group? And Carly, if you want to be able to speak on this, the powerful, positive female interactions, would you like to touch on it, or are you comfortable with me doing it?
Sure. So I've always kind of been a tomboy. I've never really had a lot of girlfriends. I have like 2. Well, before this, I had like 2 close girlfriends, and I did take some ladies clinics, which kind of gave me that, like, hey, there's women out here that like what I like, and maybe I can meet some more. And then Trish posted her sled prep thing, that it was only for women. I was like, oh my God, this is my jam. And then I met all these awesome women and I rode with them, and we also clicked, and like, there was no pressure, you didn't want to try something that was okay. There was like, oh, are you sure? Like, okay, well, just we'll come back. And like, nobody pressured you to try something that you weren't super comfortable with. And when I did step a little bit too far out of my comfort zone, Trish was there and changed the day. Like, without Trish being there, I don't even know, like, I had a panic attack, and I'd never had one of those in my life. And she knew what to do. Like, she calmed me down. She made me focus on what wasn't freaking me out, and brought me back to a place that I could get back on that sled and try again. I didn't actually successfully get out of where I was really having a freak out, but that community and not ruining my day because I had someone to pick me up and dust me off was something I've never had before. So if that's something that you want in your life, then this is where you're going to find it.
I think that's incredible too, to lean into. A lot of men just don't get it, right? So it is very powerful to come into a space of women that just get it. And it's fun because particularly with the people that are going to get the Ride More package with us, you're going like all in, you're investing. We are organizing, we're going to call it like a retreat for next season. And this is going to be for clients as well, not just coaches. We would love to organize a weekend where we get away, whether we find a cabin somewhere that we can all rent. We're still going to we got to figure out the details of it, but we know that this is something that we really want to be able to make happen. I know like sled clinics can be super expensive, and I would love to be able to come together and just like be together. I love squeezing my people. And it would just be amazing to be able to come together and like really have those solid connections. And the neat piece is that then when you are traveling, you have people that you know in those areas. So it was really cool. Last year I only rode in my zone once, and everywhere I went, I had people to show me, and I trusted them to show me appropriate areas. I wasn't questioning if they were going to put me in danger, ride in sketchy avalanche terrain or anything like that, because I've connected with these women so very much. They're not strangers. They really are friends, and it's beautiful to see that the other clients within the group can build those friendships as well. So it's not necessarily just the coaches that are benefiting from those friendships. You might discover somebody in the group that actually only lives a couple hours away, or maybe even rides the same zone as you frequently. So it's really incredible to come in and have that space to lean into.
I wasn't a coach last year either. I was just a client. And also the support you get from here. Like, let's say you are working on wheelies or hill climbs or whatever, and you post like, hey, went out this weekend and I got an 11 o'clock wheelie. The girls are gonna light you up. Like, you are never gonna experience that kind of support anywhere else. Like, they are gonna cheer like you just won the biggest competition of the year.
It is wonderful. And then of course, like next to the community, we're all after results. So we have these structured programs. I think a lot of the other groups that are out there, they run sled boot camps, and like they're curating the programs specifically to sledding. And I think it's incredible that Beachbody actually created these programs that were conveniently aligned with the summer, both last year and this year, that we can really translate into the gains that we need to see for sledding. So being able to combine strength training and cardio all in one really is incredible for us, because we're not going to just build our strength, you're also going to build endurance. You'll find that week one, it might be difficult to keep the pace. You might have to pause the workouts, and that's okay. And you might get to the end of the week and you're just so sore. And then by week 8, like you're able to crush it. You might not have to pause. You might get in all of your reps. You might not have to drop your weights. Actually, you should have to drop your weights at some point. You should push enough that you have to drop set, in my opinion. But we're going to be getting you guys those results, and it comes from having the structured programs that are going to actually produce those results. And the neat part is that because somebody else has already done that for you guys, we're able to be here to just support you. So we're not spending time actually creating these workouts or anything like that. I have created a hybrid calendar for us for the first 4 weeks, and we're going to be balancing between 645, so the program that we did do last year, and LIIFTMORE, which is going to be just incredible, because I'm so worried my laptop's going to die. It doesn't look like it's charging. Like it says plugged in. We're just going to hope for the best here. But you have structured programs that are going to produce those results. So because that's taken care of, your coaches are able to kind of guide you a little bit more. A lot of people are worried, like, what if I can't stay on schedule? And it's really important to recognize that everybody has lives, especially like we're starting it through summer. And I think it's wonderful we're doing a program that's only going to be 5 days a week, because you still have your weekends off. And then this program might be a little bit difficult to double up on workouts, but there's always the potential that, like, if you miss a day this week, maybe next weekend you work out on Saturday. Nobody's holding a gun to your head saying like, you better press play on Monday's workout on Monday. You will still see results. A lot of people sometimes when they kind of miss days or anything like that, they feel discouraged and they want to start the program over again. I never recommend anybody starting a program over again. It really creates that like negative mindset in your mind that, well, you haven't completed something before, and why is this going to be any different? So I would maybe recommend starting a week over, but never the whole program. So you're still going to see results. If you take a week off, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I really think that with the results as well, something that's important to touch on, I think especially for women, a lot of us want to lose weight. We want to see certain areas of our body kind of shred that fat. And it's really important with this program to take progress photos and measurements. So the scale may not move it is likely not going to really move in this program because you're building muscle. And we know that muscle weighs more than fat. You may actually gain some weight with this, which is a goal for some of the women. But being able to take those pictures, you can see that like the areas that you kind of wanted to melt away, that they're still going. Like we're incorporating cardio. Muscle burns fat on its own as well. So if those are the results that you're after, that's something to be mindful of.
Especially in women, there's a lot more studies showing that if you're weightlifting, you're burning more fat than just cardio.
And Carly's excellent at research. So if you want the science behind something, Carly is the coach to bring that to us in this boot camp. It's lovely that we can kind of do it as a team effort. So Carly's your girl, not me.
If you want to know, like there's 3 kind of body archetypes, I can tell you more about your type and what kind of like food and intake you're going to need to help get those goals.
Yeah. I'm just trying to read some of the chat here for a second. I'll catch up on it in a minute.
One thing to also, if you want to catch up and read,
yeah,
I think LIIFTMORE had days where there was no weights, and I'm sure LIIFTMORE will have a day where there's no weights. So once you kind of learn his schedule, you can also use that while you're traveling. You'd be like, oh, I know that Wednesday's usually no weights, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to download that, and I'm going to take it with me when I go camping or whatever your adventures might be for the weekend. So there is flexibility. Like last year was 6 days a week, so it took a lot of dedication and planning to like try to stick fairly close to the schedule, but I do think this will be easier, especially once you get into the rhythm of this program.
Yeah, and the workouts are a smidge shorter as well, so that's always helpful. I want to touch on meal prep. A lot of people have told me that they would not benefit from this because they're picky eaters. I would like to just emphasize we are not creating meal plans for anybody. None of us are certified nutritionists or dietitians. That's not our jam. But we are going to be sharing meal prep hacks. So this is going to be something that's coming at you guys weekly. A lot of us are already kind of seasoned with just prepping in general for our week. We take Sunday afternoon to do simple things like chop your veggies and cook your protein for your lunches. Meal prep does not mean like making your meals for the entire week and doing all of these things. It can be something as simple as taking half an hour to just prep your produce. So we'll be able to come to you guys with that, both to help with when you are leaving town to hit the mountain. A lot of us can really default to hitting the restaurants and the pubs and all of that. And with the cost of fuel, we know that those trips are going to be expensive and fewer and far in between. So anything we can do to cut back on those costs for you guys would be awesome to be able to pay that forward. So being able to prep for your trips, as well as even just the day of riding, like we all know that we need to fuel our bodies. If your gas tank runs out on your sled, doesn't really run right. Same thing with your body. So you can put in all this work, but if you're not eating to the point that by noon, like your body's shaking and you literally have no energy left in your stores, I'm hoping that this is going to be able to kind of help you guys with that. I know a lot of people struggle with not having breakfast before they hit the mountain. So I'm hoping to be able to kind of touch on the different kinds of foods that we've been eating when we go riding that find that it is kind of producing that energy with us without bogging us down or making us feel nauseous when we start to exert ourselves, because that's a really big thing as well. So it's the unsexy one. Not everybody's stoked on changing their nutrition, but we're not telling you to diet here. This is just, these are tips that have worked for us.
And Shakeology is really good for a breakfast in a hurry. I mean, you literally can mix it with milk and go, and at least you're giving your body some, well, actually quite a lot of the vitamins, minerals, and proteins that you need to at least start your day and then have a healthier snack when you're out there.
Yeah. And then mindset. This is this is the unsexy work, you guys. A lot of women that I talk to, they get pretty frustrated when they're getting stuck. They try something over and over and over again, and like somebody told me the other day that they feel like a failure because after a couple of tries of doing a donut, like, and you just keep flopping it, and you can really get stuck in your head and say, well, I'm never going to be able to figure this out, like I'm holding up the group. And being able to address everybody's mindset, I think, is really powerful. You can really make that shift from feeling like a failure to recognizing that if you're getting stuck, it's because you're trying something new. Right? It's just like when we're doing a workout, a lot of it's translatable to say, like in our workouts, we literally push to failure. We actually aim for failure, right? We want to completely burn out our muscles because we know we pushed our limits. But then when we hit the mountain, a lot of times we beat ourselves up for that. and really it's that you're trying, and that's all a lot of us can do. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of touch on mindset. We're going to have some podcast recommendations. I know a lot of people tell me that they have a difficult time listening to that stuff because they tune it out. I'm going to challenge that mindset and say, imagine it's your friend sharing that information with you, or like you're all sitting here right now listening to me, right? So just to kind of be able to take that and find a way that works for you, whether it's listening to it on the drive to work or while you're folding laundry or sitting down with a pen and paper. Taking notes sometimes helps it kind of stick in a little bit more. We've got some audiobooks we're going to recommend. There's a lot of personal development here to help us kind of tackle that, so that you're not having those like midday throw your helmet on the ground. I call them temper tantrums, because that's what I used to have. And last year we had that moment on the mountain. It was just Dan and I was getting very frustrated, and I had to just take a minute. And he said, 2 years ago, if we were having this, like, we would have left. We would have just gone home at this point. And I didn't even start crying. So that's a win. So my mindset really is a big one, that everybody's here for the strength gains, but we want to be able to tackle the mountain mentally as well. And confidence. I'm really jealous of your recovery right now, Carly. I'm just like itching for it. Confidence is a big one. So a lot of people rely on our husbands, right? We're not confident loading the sled on the sled deck. We're not comfortable towing the sled trailer. And a lot of that comes from just, we've never done it before. And a lot of people think that they have to be experts at it before they go. And really, like, you're going to build confidence with experience. So I'm excited to be able to bring you guys some of those confidence building exercises. We're going to kind of push you guys out of your comfort zone with mini challenges every week, so that you guys can build that confidence. And a large part of it comes from having other women that you can connect with over it, right? Because it's huge to be able to come into the group and say, I'm going on my first all girls sled trip, and everybody's going to share their pointers and celebrate you and just clap for you, because it can be intimidating, right? Like, you need to know all of the ins and outs of, you need to know how to change a belt. And there are some amazing coaches in the team that are going to be able to kind of share some of those resources with you guys, so that you can feel confident hitting the mountain for the day with one other girlfriend. Amy and I had a moment on our last ride where everybody else wanted to stay at the mountain, and I just wanted to go home because I had such a long drive at the end of the day. And we did not skip a beat on leaving ourselves. It was just the two of us. We completely left the group and we ventured all the way back to the truck on our own. And that's something that a few years ago I would not have done. I've been completely dependent on my husband until going to the She Shreds clinic. That was my first like step out of my comfort zone. And then the following year I towed the sled trailer, which in January on the highway that we took was an experience on its own. And everybody got to watch me try to back it into the parking lot. And a lot of that comes from Carrie was there. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But a lot of that comes from building your confidence and getting out of that comfort zone. It's we know that growth doesn't happen in our comfort zone, so it's really important. I was going to kind of talk about the program, but I've taken a lot of your guys' time on Saturday morning. I'll send out the PDF so that you guys can kind of see what we're going to be doing, but this is what we're offering everybody. This is what you're going to be getting. We are charging a bit more with the boot camp this year. With many of our other programs, we do give people the like bare bones option. And when you're coming into the ongoing accountability, it's really easy to accomplish that because we're constantly bringing people in, funneling people in. It's not about the money, but it is what makes my husband okay with me taking this time away, is that like I'm contributing to the household, right? It's the same as me going to work Monday to Friday. So we do have entry level package for everybody, and that'll be like the bare bones. You just need your access to BOD, which is currently $145 Canadian for the year. They just increased the price, and that's going to get you in to start with us on Monday, which is non-negotiable. If you miss the Monday cutoff, you're just going to have to wait until next year or start like on your own. And then when the program itself launches on July 19th, we'll need the VIP access to that, which is around $90 Canadian. I don't know the US prices. I'm sorry. It's 30-ish% cheaper than what I'm saying. It's $90 to get that. And then, so this is for somebody that's not using the supplements or is tight on funds. And then $50 to your coach. And that's for the content that we're going to be bringing in here. We're going to have live calls. Like I said, we're going to be running that group, the group retreat. So that's going to get you into there. Sorry, the $50 buy up is for the Ride More package. Bare bones is $145 now, and then the $90 on July 19th. That's going to keep you in the ongoing accountability group. So you'll still see everybody logging their workouts. I don't need to screen share for this. So you still see everybody logging their workouts in the group there. So you still get the community aspect. We still have mindset work in our ongoing accountability group. So you're still going to get some stuff there. It's just not going to be as geared towards sledding. And then we have our Ride More package. And that's where we're going to be going live every week. We're going to have calls where we can get on with you guys and actually chat about, like, what do you want to work on next week? What are your personal goals? I'm currently going through a program that's teaching me how to do more proper coaching as opposed to teaching. So helping you find that answer within yourself. So I'm excited to be able to bring that to you guys and kind of work that muscle. So I'll be able to do some one-on-ones within the call to help everybody kind of work through their stuff. And then we're going to have a giveaway at the end. We're going to be planning that retreat. That bundle, you need your access this month. Again, at least the 145, or you can get a bundle to get the supplements. Current clients, you already have your access. And then on July 19th, you would be getting the completion pack. So you'll get access to LIIFTMORE, you'll get the equipment, you're going to get the performance stack again. I highly recommend everybody having Recover with this program. 2 leg days a week is going to suck.
Get that energized. It does. It's a game changer.
It does make a difference in your performance throughout the workout. Like Joel said, it kind of lets you push through all the way to the end. And for anybody that just like can't do the supplements, or you have your own supplements, you can do the $90 access and then the $50 to your coach. So that was what I kind of messed up on the last one, but and that's for the value that we're pouring in there. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to stop recording.